안녕하세요. Korean English Dr. An입니다. Do you know why is 그 sound written as 그, 기억 in Korean? In this video, I'd like to talk about the Korean consonants. We have as many as 19 consonants. So you may find it hard to memorize all those 19 consonants and also how to pronounce it. So in this video, I'd like to talk about why King Sejong invented such symbols to represent those 19 sounds in Korean. So in Korean, we have 19 consonants. 그, 느, 무, 스, 응. 그, 드, 부, 즈, 흐. 그, 트, 푸, 츠, 뜨, 뿌, 스, 르, 즈. How do you feel about pronouncing these consonants? It looks really complicated and confusing, right? They look really similar to each other. But once you listen to this video, you may understand the basic principles of making these consonants. And the bottom line is that King Sejong invented these symbols based on the place of the pronunciation and then the manners of the pronunciation. So let's start it. So those 19 consonants are actually derived from the 5 basic consonants. The 5 basic consonants are like this: 그, 느, 무, 스, 응. Basically, the sound 그 is really similar to 그 sound in English. Just like go, right? 그. And then we do have the same sound 그, and then Korean put it as this symbol 그, 그. And then this one, 느, 느. It's really similar to 느 in English, 느 and 느 sound, 느. And then mu, really the same. And then s sound, well, it's a little bit different from English s sound. So in English, you pronounce so, right? But in Korean, we say so, a little bit soft than English so, right? So, s sound in English, but in Korean, so, soft sound, so. And then lastly, song, is written like this. So let me read it one more time. 그, 느, 무, 스, These 5 are the basic consonants. So when you memorize those sounds, then please think about how to pronounce the 그 sound. You may not realize that your tongue will look like this when you pronounce 그 sound in English. So 그 sound, when you pronounce 그 in Korean, also in English, your tongue looks like this. And then the air goes up and then come out, then you will pronounce 그 like this, okay? So King Sejong got this idea and then he made the symbol 기억 based on this pronunciation, okay? So when you pronounce 그 sound and try to put your hand like this, just like this picture, put your hand up and then like this, okay? 그 sound, 그, 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 그. And then for the 느 sound, 느, in English, 느, you may not actually also realize that 느, when you pronounce 느, your tongue goes up to your top of your mouth and nu. And then in Korean, really the same. So nu, when you memorize nu sound, and then niun, then try to make your hand like this, and then pronounce it nu, 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 nu. Okay? And then for mu sound, when you pronounce mu, we need two lips. Mu. Just like in English, mu sound, right? So King Sejong want to make lips, right? With mu, mim, mu sound, okay? Mu, and then mu. Try to memorize it with this hand shape, mu, mu. And then su, in case of su, su. The air goes through those two teeth. And then su, su, su. Try to make a like snake head. S, s. Remember the snake head shape. S, s. And then Korean s, and English s. Okay. And then lastly, sound. When you pronounce our throat, this part will be open. So remember the hand in front of the throat, and then the shape okay. So based on the 5 basic consonants, King Sejong made another consonants like gu, and then ku sound. For the ku sound, he just add one more stroke like this, gu and ku. Gu and then ku, they are pronounced in the same place. So he just make one difference from gu sound to make the symbol for k sound, okay? So gu and then ku. And nu, and then du, tu, lu. These are actually the consonants that are pronounced in the same place. And also all of them are using the tongue, tip of tongue, hitting the top of your mouth, right? So nu, du, tu, lu. So in case of nu, he put nu sounds as this. And then for the do sound, he just put one more stroke on top. So do. And then he also knew that do and to is really similar. So he put one more stroke here in the middle. So do, and then to. Nu, do, to. And lastly, lu. It looks really complicating, but you can put gu on top and then do at the bottom. Lu, lu. Okay, nu, do, to, lu. And then for the mu sound, mu, bu, pu. These 3 are really pronounced using your lips. So just put one more stroke on top here and another here. Bu, mu, bu. And then now horizontally add a little bit of stroke on the side. Pu, pu, mu, bu, pu, mu, bu, pu. And then over here, this is su, su, and this is ju, chu. You can feel that these 3 are really similar, right? So the symbols also looks alike. Su, he put one more stroke on top to make the ju sound, and then another stroke on top, chu, chu, okay? Su, ju, chu. And then lastly, and then hu. Those 2 are pronounced from our throat, the same place. So you can he put 2 more stroke on top to make hu sound symbol. hu. So these five are the basic consonants, and then the others are actually derived from those five basic ones. And then let me pronounce it one more time. 그, 크, 느, 드, 트, 르, 무, 부, 푸, 스, 주, 추, 후. And then when you pronounce these consonants, you can find three different characteristics among those. One is breathing or aspirated. The other is nasal, which means using your nose. And the remaining consonants are plain. Can you guess which are aspirated and which are nasal and which are plain? Well, the red one, nu, mu, lu. These are the nasal. You can squeeze your nose and then try to pronounce these red ones. Then you can find it uncomfortable to pronounce it, which means those consonants in red are using your nose. So they are nasal. And then ku, hu, tu. These are aspirated, which means when you pronounce hu sound, you can feel the air, right? So all these blue consonants are pronounced similar way, so you can call it aspirated. Then the other ones in black, these are the plain. They do not have any such special characteristics. So let me put it as plain consonants. So 그, 드, 부, 스, 주. Those are the plain consonants. So I just pull out those plain consonants here one more time. And in Korean, we do have those tense consonants. They are from the plain consonants, not from the nasal ones, not from the aspirated one. Only those plain consonants, or 그, 드, 부, 스, 주, has the tense forms. So in English, you also have such a similar pronunciations like pot, stop, top, right? So even though tu, they are the same T sound, but when you pronounce it, they are not the very same. As you can see here, pot, two sound, they are unreleased. And the stop, these are unaspirated. Stop, right? And then t, top, aspirated. So in case of T, here, unaspirated one, unaspirated. In Korean, we have special characters, symbols for those unaspirated one or tense one. So in case of 그 sound, we have 그, and then 드, 드, 부, 부, 스, 스, 주, 주. So in English, you have only one alphabet, but when you pronounce it differently. But in Korean, we have separate alphabets for such different pronunciation. Even though they are really similar, but we do have different alphabets, like this one, t, and then t, aspirated one, and then unaspirated, like this, t, t, t. Okay, so far we have covered all those 19 consonants of Hangul. Here, the red one, they are the basic consonants, 그, 느, 무, 스, And then these are really pronounced in the similar place. Okay, and then 그, 드, 부, 스, 주. Those are the tense consonants. So in total, we have 19 consonants. Then let's read the consonants slowly but clearly, okay? 그, 느, 드, 르, 무, 브, 스, 응, 주, 츠, 크, 트, 프, 흐, 끄, 뜨, 으, 스, 쯔, 그, 느, 드, 르, 무, 브, 스, 응, 주, 츠, 크, 트, 프, 흐, 끄, 뜨, 으, 스, 쯔. Okay, when you pronounce the consonants with vowel, then it could be easy to pronounce it. And let me try it. Ka, na, ta, ra, ma, pa, sa. A, ja, cha, ka, ta, pa, ha. Ka, ta, pa, sa, ja. Ka, na, ta, ra, ma, pa, sa. A, ja, cha, ka, ta, pa, ha. Ka, ta, pa, sa, ja. Okay, then lastly, let me write the 19 consonants for you, okay? For 그 sound, I can write this. 그, 느, 드, 르, 무, 브, 스, 응, 주, 츠. Okay, and then for 츠, I'll write down one more time, 츠, and then 크, 트, 프, 흐, 끄, 뜨, 뿌, 뿌, then 스, 쯔. Okay, I just finished writing the 19 consonants. Okay, in this video, I explained why King Sejong makes such symbols when he represents those 19 consonants. And I hope this video will help you.